Pam and Tommy, episode 1, titled Drilling and Pounding. Of course, this is the beginning of a 8-part event series that's going to be exclusively on Hulu in the States, and Disney Plus, which is so weird knowing the topic of this show. But it's going to be on Disney Plus around the world. And what is this event series about? Well, clearly it's about Pam Anderson and Tommy Lee, and it's about their sex tape. And here's the weird thing, like, I think what intrigued me about this show was those first images of what Sebastian Stan was going to look like as Tommy Lee, and what Lee James was going to look like as Pam Anderson. I think more on Lee James, because that was like uncanny. Like, I went like, when I saw the first pictures of Sebastian Stan as Tommy Lee, I was like, yeah, that's Bucky with the Tommy Lee makeup acquire, you know, with the tattoos and the piercings, all that kind of stuff, and like the motif. But you're like, that's not. But when we saw Lee James looking as Pam, we're like, are you sure you didn't got a time machine? Are you sure? Hey Hollywood, did the TARDIS show up? Did the DeLorean come along? Do you actually got her? Like, did you? No? Oh, wait, that's Cinderella? Down there, me? Baby Drive? No! No! That can't... Wait, it is? And then the trailers come along. And then it is that curiosity about how you're going to handle this. Because, end of the day, in my head, I'm like, is that really much to tell about? Like, if one thing would be a movie, but as a show, in my head, I'm like, is there much really to tell about? Okay, somehow the sex tape got linked, or hit online, or they sold, whatever the context was, and now it's on around the world, and it's this big, huge thing. I was like, is there much to tell? And with this first episode, I was really surprised how it started, because naturally, the show's name... It was the title of the show. The show's named Pam and Tommy. So you would think it would be heavily on Pam and Tommy. But what it's actually about is about this guy named, Wan. Wan. And Wan is the guy who gets hold of the tape and who releases to the world. And it's basically trying us to not simplify it, not to glorify him, not to make us feel like what he did was justified, but to understand why why he had the feeling to go into their house and steal a safe, and then saw the sex tape and thought, let's release it to the world. Why is that the case? Understand this, and it's no glorification at all. It is not as justifying. Because here's the thing, my point of view with biopics is, and I'm wondering some filmmakers treat like this, is like, yes, we understand that this is based on a true story, but we have to treat this movie like it's fiction. We have to treat this movie like it's fiction. And we need to have us as an audience member to understand why this dude, Seth Rogen's character, Wan, is going to do the things he's going to do. And what we had, like, you know, to be fair, not, you know, only like 0.1 would ever know what these two people were like. But in the context of the show, as the character, let's break this down, as the character of Tommy Lee that is portrayed on the show, he is a dick. He is a dick. And because he's like changing his ideas about what the bedroom is meant to look like. You know, he wanted the sex swing, but he doesn't want just a sex swing. You know, he wants the bed over there, but it's bolted to the floor. He doesn't want. He wants a water bed, but a water bed, that's not like dumping a wet. It's not like you have to fill it up. You have to do this and this to have a water bed. So, do you really want to have sex on a water bed? Really? It's like, it'd be so, like, ugh. And what was it he wanted to have the shower and the sex ring so he could just swing to the bedroom, to the bed. Anyway, Big Keith changes his mind. He says money's no problem, but he doesn't pay it. Like, he just, the character is ultimately, and Sebastian Stan plays it really damn well. Really damn well. And between the two characters, of the title characters, Pamela's barely in it. She's in the opening scene with Jay Leno, and a bit of piece here and there. And the times that we see the two of them together, I was like, these guys were basically the Walk couple, the Walk and Wall couple, like the Walk star and his wife or girlfriend. And I'm like, anytime we see a comedy or an animation or live action or whatever the context of the genre is, anytime we see the Walk star and his wife or the Walk star and his girlfriend, these two were basically the fingerprint of that. Where you have the Walk star rebel guy with the beautiful, busty, blonde-headed wife. And I'm like, who are very rock and roll and tongue, doing the tongue thing all the time and loud in the bedroom, because that's like the first 10 seconds of the episode. Like, you have all these builders trying to do their work, and all they hear is like the clients yelling, climaxing upstairs. It's like, Jesus, other people are in the room. Jesus, guys. But here's the thing. I like this episode. I did. Is it a bit slow? Yeah, maybe it drags a little bit. The soundtrack's great. It is directed by the person who did I, Tonya, which is a really solid film. So there's a sense of hope there that hopefully, what I think it's going to be is this is going to be a show that's going to be having this light tone and might be a little bit goofy, a little bit silly, maybe have some humor, but it's going to take it seriously. That weird balance of taking a situation seriously, but able to joke around out through it. And because maybe it's the mindset of, hey, yes, this is a horrible event that has happened to these two people, but we don't want the audience to feel depressed or feel shame that they once upon a time in the 90s watched it. So I feel like it's going to be that, or just dive, like, here's the fun times, here's the happy-go-lucky stuff, and then we'll just slowly into the drama and slow into the madness. I was just very surprised how much of Seth Rogen's character we got. And Seth Rogen's good. And Sebastian Stan's really good in it as well. It's a really well opening of the beginning of the story. And yeah, I mean, it's, yeah. I mean, this is the first episode. I haven't seen, at this point of recording, I haven't seen the other two episodes. All I know, the other two episodes are shite. I might be like, yeah, the tape got released. The end. Yeah, this is surprisingly a really good first episode. I quite dig it.